Wait, you're the best. Thank you so much. Oh, you guys, thank you for such a warm welcome. I am so grateful to be here. You can take a seat. You guys are the sweetest. Thank you so much. I am genuinely so grateful, so thankful, so appreciative of all the love. Thank you for turning out. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, we're so good. I'm going to be here all day just saying before. I think we need to go somewhere. So. I love you too.
I love your wife.
So, I'm here to talk to you today about finding your authentic voice. And finding my authentic voice was not an easy journey. I remember when I was 8 years old, I stood on the stage to give a speech like I'm doing right now. And the audience started laughing. The audience started laughing, I started crying, and I shrank because I cared what they thought of me. When I got rejected by a girl in my teens, I played it over and over again in my head for days because I cared what she thought. And then I remember that when I became a monk after college, I questioned if my family would ever understand. I cared what they thought. When I released my first ever video online, I was scared to read the comments. When I became a podcaster, I was afraid of failing in public. And the truth is, even as I'm standing here today, I still care about what you all think. It's natural as humans to crave approval, to fear rejection, to let other people's opinions define what we chase, what dreams we abandon, and what we believe about ourselves. And every single one of you knows what that feels like. When you're thinking about putting out a video, when you're thinking about making that sales call, when you're thinking about building your brand on social media, I'm sure there's a little voice in your head that says, what will people think? What will people say?
Right.
Right? If we're honest, right? We all feel that.
Right.
You're an honest audience, I appreciate it. You know, there's always one who's like, oh, I don't care what anyone thinks. Then you go look at their social media, they haven't posted a single thing within the last 2 years, right? It's so interesting how we all get paid by this. And I'm sure we've all been in a classroom, you've been in a family gathering, you've been with a group of friends, you've been at a business event, and you just felt that you don't belong. Maybe you said yes when you wanted to say no. Maybe you wore something that was uncomfortable for you or was impressive to someone else. Maybe you held your tongue when you had something important to say. Or maybe you let go of a dream because someone else didn't believe in it. We all shape shift, we change, we second guess, we hesitate for people who won't even remember us. And I've lived that cycle. I've been controlled by it. And I've fought my way out again and again and again. And that's what we're here to do tonight. What we're here to do is to make sure that each of you never stop fighting. That you never accept that someone's opinion defines your life. Raise your hand if you've ever felt held back or you felt like you silenced a part of yourself because of what someone else thought. Raise your hands. And raise your hands if you've never felt that way. And raise your hands if you don't raise your hands no matter what I say. I appreciate it. Good, all right, just checking you in there. But here's a really important question. One question that we actually don't even know the answer to. The challenge isn't that you worry about what people think. The challenge is you have no idea what you missed out on because of what other people think. You have no idea what you lost, what you sacrificed, what was yours, what belonged to you as your potential, as a gift, as a reward for your hard work and talent. Some of us never even figure that out. I'm telling you all of this because I was this close to not doing what I do today. I was this close to giving up. I was this close to letting go. I was this close to it never happening. I remember this is around 10 years ago now. I had this vision to make wisdom go viral. Now, when I had this vision, there were only four things that went viral: cats, dogs, babies, and people taking their dogs off. And so, when I said that I'm going to make wisdom go viral, it was this naive vision, this naive idea, and all I kept hearing from everyone was, Jay, no one wants wisdom. Don't worry about it. There's no demand for it. Just forget about it. So I started to make videos because no one believed me. And those 4-minute videos, thankfully, because of so many of you, garnered millions and millions and hundreds of millions of views. And then I remember saying, I really want to launch a podcast. I want to create a space where we can have really open, vulnerable conversations where I can help make the world happier, healthier, and more healed. Where we can connect, where I can bring together ancient wisdom and modern science and share these ideas. And here's what they told me. They said, Jay, people like watching your videos for 4 minutes. No one wants to listen to you for an hour. And it's a direct quote. So I remember going to events like this, and I would wait right till the end so that I could speak to some of the executives on stage. And be sitting in the audience just like you. I'd wait for the event to be over. I'd be waiting for the Q&A to be over. I'd wait for the VIP to be over because I wasn't in that part. I'd wait right to the end, and then I'd finally get in front of the executives. Sometimes I'd chase them as they walked outside. And I remember I said to them, I'll work for you for free. I'll do anything. Just tell me where to start. One told me I was too old to be in media. One told me I was too young to be in media. And the third one told me I was the right age, but it was the wrong time. I was 28 confused. I had no idea what was going on. And so I had to launch that. And then I remember I wanted to launch a book, and 14 imprints told me, change the name of the book. 14 imprints told me, Jay, no one wants to think like a monk. Change the name of the book. Why am I sharing all of these things with you? I'm sharing all of these things with you because I think sometimes we believe that the path and the road is really clear for other people. That sometimes our path is full of stumbling blocks, our path is full of challenges, our path is full of stress. But other people's paths are open and clear, and I'm here to tell you that's just not true. There is no person in the world that you admire that had a clear path. There is not one single person. I have never met a strong person with an easy path. That person just doesn't exist. And so many of us don't recognize that pushback, that failure, that challenge, that feedback is giving you an opportunity to rise. And I was this close to giving up at each of those moments, at each of those times. But I'm standing in front of you here today because I realized I didn't need someone in a suit to say yes. I didn't need an executive to say yes. I needed all of you to say yes. That's what I needed. That's what we need. And we get so many no's that we keep looking in the wrong direction. What I realize is we're so focused on this door opening here right now not realizing that there's 300 doors opening right here. Why are we just knocking like this? And the funny thing is, we're knocking on this door, those 3 doors are opening, but we don't turn around. You get to where you want in life, just not in the way you imagined it. And if you keep thinking it's going to happen how you imagine it, you'll never get to where you want in life. So today, I want you to make me a promise. I don't want you to miss out on your purpose, and I don't want the world to miss out on your purpose. Can you do that for me? So here's what I want to do. I want to talk to you a bit about this challenge we all have with worrying about what people think. When I was growing up, I remember hearing tapes, I remember hearing CDs, and there's this one quote that I would hear all the time. 4 words that kill more dreams than anything else. What will people think? What will people say? What will people do? What will people think if I quit my job and I pursue my passion? What will people say if I don't make it this year? What will people do if I'm seen to be doing this? How are people going to react when I post, when I share how well my business is doing? How will people react if my online video looks cringe? How will people react if I don't come across how I want to? And here's the reason. One study found that our brains are literally wired to react to social rejection the same way we react to physical injury. So being left out of the group chat feels like you just broke your leg, right? That's how it feels. It literally feels like physical pain when you get a rejection. When someone says, no, I don't want to buy your product, it feels like someone just broke your heart. Because it's a physical pain to an emotional reaction that we all experience. One of my favorite quotes is from Charles Horton Cooley. He said, the challenge today is, I'm not what I think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. Let that blow your mind for a moment. It gives me goosebumps every time I say it. Absolutely, give it up for Charles Horton Cooley. In 1902, Charles Horton Cooley said, the challenge today is, I'm not what I think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. Let me explain. What that means is, if I think you think I'm smart, then I'm not smart. But if I think you think I'm weak, then I feel weak. We let what we think others think of us define how we feel about ourselves. So people thinking something of you is not the issue. The issue is what we think others think of us. That's what blocks us. What blocks us is the voice in our head that says you're not good enough. Everyone thinks you're not smart enough. Everyone thinks you're not well presented enough. Everyone thinks you're not doing enough. That voice is the voice that holds us back. How many of you have heard the voice of not being good enough? Raise your hand. How many of you still have that voice in your mind today and it still blocks you beyond?
Sometimes.
So here's what I want you to do. I want to try something with all of you. I want you to stand up if you've ever been worried about what someone thought of your appearance. Stand up now.
Yes. Everybody's standing.
Right, if anyone has one, love them. Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. Wow, so a lot of people worried about that, how they feel about their appearance, and we should be honest. Okay. I'm going to draw my face. Okay. All right. So, second question. How many of you have ever been so worried about how you come across that you've reread a text or an email multiple times? Right, stay standing. Now, this is the most important one, and I want you to listen really, really clearly. Only stay standing if you still struggle with the feeling of not being good enough, even today as you're standing right here. Only stay standing if in your mind and heart you deeply struggle with the feeling of not being good enough right now. Wow. Every single one of you. I want you to only stay standing if that feeling of not being good enough affects you at work, at home, to the point that it paralyzes you, gives you anxiety. Only stay standing if it makes you that anxious. Only stay standing.
Okay, I'm not.
Yeah, but I'm talking for a few of you. Hello. Let's go there. Desiree, can we give it up for Desiree, please? Okay. Desiree, as I was looking past you, I felt like we connected and there was a deep sense of. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just stand up on the chair.
Talking to me for a second, taking a deep breath.
We can't because about to come here, but everybody's smoking. Oh, really? Yeah. We should have
There's a really connect with that voice right to your head right now that says the negative things. And I want you to share with me what are the negative things that you learned in life.
Sometimes I feel burdened. That's been long. And it's just trying to pass that to success. Where
And what are some of the negative things that you hear about not being worthy? What are the things that you hear in your own head when you're trying to put yourself out there?
well, I procrastinate a lot, so I overfocus and not remember and feel like a failure. When I do not have time in the business as well, so I feel like I'm failing. If I do like what
And so sometimes there's the voice in your head saying you're not good enough, you're letting everyone else down. Does that sound?
Yeah.
Israel, would you be able to try something?
Yes.
Did you realize that?
We love you! You got this! You got this! It's it! Oh my goodness, amazing online business guy, Shetty on stage. Check this out, send other message. Woo! Like, excuse me. Is all your kids coming?
There's a reason why I chose you is because I felt that from the moment we connected with that, from the moment you opened your mouth, I felt like you went straight to the heart space. And you were vulnerable enough to share really difficult truths that each and every one of us deal with, and sometimes we're scared to admit it. And the truth is, going there takes a lot. But for a second, there's I just want to shake it up. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. I want to get to know you. I want to learn all the fun things about you that you love. And so I want you to tell me about where you grew up and what you love about where you grew up.
So I am from Edmonton, Canada.
Yeah.
And even though I didn't have a rock past with my parents, we went camp, outdoors, nature, mountains. It was like one of my favorite things to do.
I love that. I love that. You like being outdoors, you like being in nature, all the good habits that come from that. Tell me about some of the people you love in your life, some of the people you're closest to that you're so happy you get to do life with.
My fiance, my kids, my mom, my cousins, my best friend, all the women that I have met. And then
That's enough!
so, like, I see every day. So,
I can see the tears and gratitude. It's beautiful. Tell us about your kids.
so I have a little girl, she's 3.5, and a son who's 6.5.
What are their names?
Sakura, Hazel, that,
And your fiance, tell me about him.
him, he kind of came into each other's lives at the right time. We were both divorced. And he's honestly my person. He, we're kind of opposites, but we build each other up and we have our best relationship.
I love that. Me and my wife like it too. Desiree, one last question. Tell me about what you're passionate about, what you're interested in, what brings you in life. What are the things you love and what you enjoy?
I'm very active. I love doing a lot of activities, traveling. I was a travel agent before. I'm passionate for that. I would love to see the whole world.
What's number one on your bucket list?
I don't know. Just for PG, I've been there, but we'd love to go back to see all the stuff.
Give it up. There's someone who just a few moments ago said they're really scared about what people think of them. You're doing really, really well. But the reason I brought you up here was to try something with me. And if you're open to it, I'd love for you to try with me right now. So we're not asking you to take this on one of these chairs.
Thank you so much.
So there's a moment I'm going to ask for you to have yours personal head in a moment. And what I'm going to ask you to do while you sit here is I'm going to ask you to be able to close your eyes and I want you to focus on the difficult thoughts you told me about earlier. And I want you to think about the thoughts and specifically how they've held you back. What you've sacrificed, the times you haven't gone out, the times you haven't put yourself out there. I want you to think about the exact thoughts that you've had that repeat themselves and how they've blocked. But I really want you to go in with it. Again, like I said, when I chose you, it was because I really felt like you were not clear. And so I want you to be really present for this. And I think closing your eyes will allow you to do that. So can you try that for me?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to bring out the headphones, take it a deep breath, and keep it just really. Can you hear me, Desiree? Can you hear me, Desiree? Can you hear me, Desiree?
She can't hear it.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. While Desiree's locked in, I'm going to come into the audience and I want you to raise your hand and give me one thing, your first impression that you saw when Desiree came up and started talking about all the things she loved. He started talking about the things she's passionate about. She started talking about her kids, her family, her fiance. She talked about all of you, all the amazing women. When she was talking about all those things, what did you see in her? What did you feel from her? What could you notice about her? The positive things that you saw in her. Raise your hand if you have something for me. I'm going to come out. Then I was stand up for me. You already standing now. What's your name?
My mom, I said,
Where do you from?
New York, the fall.
Okay.
Just turned 20 yesterday.
Happy birthday. See, she was up there to she loved.
Everything that was like a joyful look right up to in her eyes, like there was like tears of sadness and tears of joy. especially when she talked about like the team that she was, like her eyes was lighting up. So I think I really felt an authentic connection with her, and it was just very amazing and full of bliss. I loved it.
Can you write that down for me?
Yeah.
Write it down for me, and it's 2 words as you possibly can. Write one leading word, and then write some under it. If you have a different word, raise your hands. And come around until you have a different word, raise your hands. Hello, what's your name? Angel. Angel, nice to meet you. Where are you from? Amazing. Thank you, Angel. What did you notice when she was on the tour? I think she knows. Bold, honest, and genuine. Can you write that down for me? Amazing. There you go. And adjectives. And adjectives. Any different words? Different word to what we've had so far. Yes, go. Let's go. Where are you from? You're a student. Then you're where you know. I'm 100 Okay. Thank you so much for being there. What did you notice in January when she was up there talking about the things she loved?
Loving, proud, so many, and we were about the family.
That was a great way. Can you write that down for me? Thank you so much. Thank you for doing that. There you go. All right. I need 2 more words. Okay, it's different from the words that I've heard. I'm coming around to you. Raise your hands. Wait, congratulations.
Over here, over here, over here, over here.
Hey, where are you from? Okay, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. Hey, what did you notice in January? Beautiful art. What makes you say that? Okay, that's it. Can you write that down for me? Can you write that for me? Part 2. Okay, I'm going to give you a 10. Okay, I need one more word. One more word. I like the energy.
I know we do.
Very cool. Phoebe, what did you know is January? Which was up there talking about the picture you love.
It was like so wonderful. We were talking yesterday.
Wow. That's pretty impressive in front of thousands of people. And what did you notice? So what's the word that you said? Like this? Can you write a bit about that for me as well? Great, bring your pen. Here you go, right in this, just so she can read it. Perfect. Great, so now if you have a card and you finish writing, raise your hand because I need to pick it back up. So if I gave you a card, raise your hand so I can come and go. Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. You can keep that. Thank you so much.
This is fun.
That's great. That's great.
Amazing, amazing. Hooray, hooray, hooray.
There should be a couple more cards. You have a card, bring a card if you have a card. I'll definitely. Thank you so much. That's great, that's great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Beautiful handwriting, by the way. Great handwriting. Oh, this one also. Yeah. All right. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
So nice.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Woo!
So there's a way just taking a deep breath, right? And out. There's a way to talk to me about the negative thoughts and you hear and you love them from in your life.
With, and then actually, in the beginning, I thought a lot about my family. So it's really tough to be positive. And then I know that I want to be in my business. So, just failed it. So, having someone expect me to do things, so it's kind of like that. And then I would switch back and forth to what I want. Is business like what I want to achieve out of it? my outcome and my why I did it. Um, so it actually helped me sitting there realize like I actually felt very good about it. And it reminded me of like the motivation, the music, and then what the light shone on me could actually feel happy.
I love it.
So, yeah, I was trying to think of a lot of the negative things in the past, and I wasn't.
That makes me really happy.
Yeah, I actually wasn't. Like, occasionally, a few thoughts would come in and be like, well, you need to do more, or, you know, you're not doing enough.
Tell me about the,
Um, yeah, like, I procrastinate a lot. So, even in my head, I'll be like, yeah, you should be doing this. Guys, like, why are you not doing this? And I'll even be thinking in that moment, and I'll still choose to do something else. I'm aware of it, and I just think connected. It's that there's something I just can't get past. And I know what I can get from doing those things, and I still don't do them. And I don't know why. I don't know why.
and those are the thoughts that creep up. Sometimes you have a good day and you don't hear them, or you have a good moment and you don't hear them, but then we all know when we're sitting in front of our laptop or our head hits the pillow, or we look up and wake up and get up in the morning and we feel that. Now, Desiree, while you were in that space, I'm going to have the audience, and I asked them what their first impression of you was when you came on stage. And they wrote it down. And I'm going to hand you what they wrote down in a few moments. What I want you to do is I just want you to read them to yourself, not out loud, not at a time, and just take them in slowly, slower than you usually would. Can you do that for me?
Okay. It's so cute.
Desiree, obviously, it resonated. Did you the one that really connected with you and really out of it?
Well, right. Super interesting.
Why did you think that?
And I think I'm a very loving person, and I feel like I have a lot to offer people, and I'm fun, and I'm happy person to be around, and I feel like I can make others happy. I keep it positive. I noticed it was honest, genuine, and bold. I can be quite bold sometimes. And I just think I'm very honest and genuine.
That's Desiree. The next time those thoughts of you not being worthy enough, you're not being good enough, start to creep in, I want you to keep these cards with you, and I want you to read them. To remind you that a group full of thousands of people felt you were bold, felt you were genuine, felt you were honest, felt you were loving, so you're reminded that you're not going to do those things because of the results that they give you. You're not going to do those things because you know you have to do them. You're going to do them because that's who you are. That's the energy that you want to practice. And one thing to put somewhere really safe. And Desiree, you might have noticed that one of them was blank. I left that blank on purpose because I want you to write down on there when you go home tonight how you feel about yourself after this. Because that's the most important. Give a round of applause, everyone.
I know. Look, I love it.
Yeah. See all those people that would actually.
Keep it going, everyone. Keep it going.
Maybe the next lucky boy.
I want to thank you for helping me get back to the seat. Thank you. I just want you to know that there were a lot of people in some audience that were really mad at me for not letting them write down their words.
I know, right?
Words. There was so much love for you. There was so much good energy for you. That everyone in this audience is standing up, going, they're shouting at me, literally. Wanting me to give them an opportunity to write down how to talk about you. And I hope that it's getting the same through one of those moments that they speak more rapidly. Now, the reality is Desiree had to bring the honesty, the vulnerability to join me up with today. And a lot of us could relate to what she's going through. A lot of us could feel her pain, even though we may be from different backgrounds, different walks of life, different countries. We all know what that feels like. And what's really interesting about that to me is how many of us, if you look at the comment section online, it doesn't show this. This isn't the experience that people have in the comment section. What you all did today, this is the comment section we need, right?
Yeah.
You guys are creating the comment section.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have no idea what anyone's going to. You have no idea what's their backstory, what their journey's been, what their experiences. You have no idea. So next time you see someone upload a cringy video, be a bit kinder. The next time you upload a cringy video, be a bit kinder. The next time you see your friend trying something new that may not be perfect, be a little bit kinder. The reason we're harsh on others is because we're harsh to ourselves. And the reason we're harsh to ourselves is we're harsh on others. The reason we think everyone's going to judge us is because we secretly judge others. The moment you give that judgment up of your own heart, of your own mind, of your own self, it frees you up over the judgment that we put on others. And the more we look at other people and just celebrate them, the more we realize that there is more than enough in the world for each and every one of you. There is more than enough. It doesn't matter how much I have, how much someone else has, how much you have. There is more than enough. There is an idea that I absolutely love, which I call the theater of happiness. Right now, when it's like the theater of moratorium. The difference between happiness and the world is that there are an unlimited number of seats in the theater of happiness. There's a seat with your name on it. There's a seat with each of your name on it, and no one can take that seat from you. In the real world, we think there's a limited number of seats. There's a limited number of opportunities. But the reality is happiness doesn't have those limits. So when you walk out of here today, you remind yourself that seeing someone else succeed doesn't take anything away from your success if you choose to settle. We have two choices when we look at other people: envy or study. Those are your only two options. Envy makes us negative, it makes us bitter, it makes us break down, it makes us blame, It makes us point fingers. It may make you feel better for 2 seconds. But eventually, it doesn't have any value. Whereas when you study someone that's succeeding, that's winning, you get the opportunity to not only be a part of their journey, you get to make it your journey. That's what happens. So remind yourself to always choose study over envy. Can you do that for me?
Yes!
Study over envy. Now, I want to give you a few practical tips about how to actually do that. I always like getting really tactical in my insights. And Desiree's not the only person. You saw each and every one of you was standing, saying that you worry about what people think. There's a psychological phenomenon known as the spotlight effect. The spotlight effect is something we all think we experience. It's the belief that everyone is watching us 24/7, and that there is a spotlight on us all the time. I know there's one of me right now, but you get the point, right? We literally walk around life thinking that there is a 24/7 spotlight on us at all times. We think we're constantly being watched, looked at, analyzed. We think we're constantly being critiqued, we're constantly being complained about, we're constantly just being looked at. And therefore, when we walk into a room, we just think everyone's eyes on us. But here's the interesting thing. Every single person feels that way. You think everyone's looking at you,
Yep.
but they think everyone's looking at them.
Yes.
So you're worried everyone's analyzing you, they're worried everyone's analyzing them, but at the end of the day, no one's looking at anyone else. For like 10 seconds.
You're looking at
I make them even 10 seconds and then they stop listening. They stop looking. But the problem is you walk into a room and you go, why is she looking at me like that? And you miss that and you go again, like, why is he looking at me like that? And I'm just in the head just thinking, I want to like you. Right? Like that's what's going on in our head. Even when saying something, someone likes you. I wish someone would like me. How do I connect with someone today? I hope someone notices me today. I hope someone says hello to me today. That's what each and every one of us thinking when we walk into a room. Or we think everyone else is looking at us and analyzing us. But they're not. So how do we stop worrying about what other people think of us? What would you do? I want to share a method that you can try. People often say, be yourself. I just want to say that is the worst advice I've ever heard in my life. And I'll tell you why. It's bad advice because who we are is usually made up of everything else that has happened to us. We haven't even made sense of it yet. How can you be yourself when you don't really know who that is? So here's how I want you to think about it. Right? Every morning when you wake up, instead of waking up and saying something critical to yourself, I want you to wake up when you look in the mirror and I want you to decide who you want to be. Every single morning, I want you to decide who you want to be. It's your choice, not someone else's. So let's say you decide to be kind, thoughtful, present, bold, brave, courageous, vulnerable. You choose. And then for the rest of the day, just be that. Just focus on being that. So if I say I'm going to be kind today, I'm going to be kind to the Uber driver. I'm going to be kind to my colleague. I'm going to be kind to my friend. I'm going to be kind to my partner. I'm just going to be kind. And when I'm focusing on being kind, and I don't need to think about what everyone else wants me to be. I just have to focus on being present, being thoughtful, being brave. And that can literally change your life because now instead of worrying about, oh gosh, I think everyone thinks I'm a bad mom. I think everyone thinks I'm not a good colleague. I think everyone thinks I'm not successful. I think everyone thinks, no, I'm just thinking about being kind. That's it. That's the first kind of. Now, the second one I want to share with you is something that's a bit more challenging for anyone in the audience who's a bit of a daredevil. Right? Who wants a bit of a dare, who wants a bit of challenge, who wants to be outside of their comfort zone. This one is known as exposure therapy. Exposure therapy is the idea that if I put myself outside of my comfort zone 1% every single day, over a period of time, I will become desensitized to that experience. If I challenge myself 1% every single day, just the tiny bit, not the big things, the tiny things, I will actually be free from that which I was fearful of. The reason we're scared is because we think we have to dive in, not realizing that if we just keep through 1% every day, over time, it won't have an impact on us. People will still have a reaction, but it won't change our reality. Let me give you an example. How many of you only like to wear black and white? Raise your hand.
Yes.
It's not many of you, because probably like to get color, obviously. How many of you only like to wear color? Right? Okay, so let me give you a small example. Tomorrow, if you only like to wear black and white, tomorrow, wear a blue hat, right? The next day, wear green shoes. And your friends are going to look at you and be like, there's something's changed about you. I can't tell what it is, like, anyway, it's all right, whatever works. And then all of a sudden, you go, oh my gosh, yes, the action didn't change my reality.
Now.
Wow, their opinion didn't change what was actually going on. Their opinion didn't make a difference. And then the next day, instead of wearing red shoes or a blue hat, you're going to get the courage to ask for that job promotion. You're going to get the courage to go and get a new client. You're going to get the courage to put out that video on social media. You're going to get the courage to write your book, launch your podcast, build your brand, and do everything you've always dreamed about because you put yourself in 1% of discomfort. We think we have to do something big to overcome our fear. You actually have to do something small every day for 30 days, and you will overcome your fear. So exposure therapy is something I want all of you to try out and give it a go. Figure out what it is that you haven't exposed yourself to. You're going to post a video every day. You're going to post a blog every day. You're going to launch a new platform. You're going to make that call every day. You're going to set meetings every day. Whatever that may be for you, those small little bursts of breaking out of your comfort zone. Because here's the reality. If you do what they want, they'll misunderstand you. And if you do what you want, they'll misunderstand you. And if you do nothing, they'll misunderstand you. And if you do something, they'll misunderstand you. People will misunderstand you no matter what you do.
Anyway, do it for yourself. Yes.
People are going to misunderstand you no matter what you do. So you might as well do it. Now I want to try something with you to bring this to life, to make this practical. But I'm going to need your collaboration on this to make this possible. I'm going to ask you 2 questions. And I want you to answer them as honestly and as personally as possible. Can you do that for me?
Yes.
So, the first question I want you to ask you is, actually, before I do that, I'm going to ask you to stand up. Right. So, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. I'm going to try and get you to do this silently so we can get it right. And I'm going to ask you to move. So, the first question is, are you more outgoing or are you in reserve? If you're outgoing, you're the light of the party, you're the chatterbox, right? You're the person who's always getting the conversation going. You're the person that can try and get everyone onto the dance floor, right?
Yes.
If you're reserved, you're as confident, but you might prefer a one-to-one conversation. You want to have a night in, you want to get to know people deep. If you're outgoing, head to this side of the room. And if you're reserved, head to this side of the room. So this is the middle. Outgoing people head to this side. Reserved people head to this side. Right, sound? If you have a pool, what do you do? You're outgoing. Reserved, outgoing.
I don't know. I'm thinking I'm over here. I'm already up.
Good luck. Right, sound?
Ah!
Second question. If you're a people person or a talk person, if you're a people person, right now you're thinking, is everything a good time? Is everything big to get learning? If you're a talk person, you're thinking, this is very exciting. Now, if you're people focused, talk forward. If you're talk focused, go backwards. Stay on your sides. If you're people focused, and if you're talk focused, go backwards. So any of you that are talk focused, you need to have practice. Okay. So, how many of talks making noise? How many of people making noise? Reserve talk making noise. People making noise. Okay, let me tell you a bit about each of these people. Outgoing and talks. These people are doers, they're planners, they're schedulers, they get stuff done. These are the people that make the fire work, right? They want to get involved. This group is ready, fire, aim. They fire before they aim, like that cover. Now, it's really important to remember this. This group, outgoing people, this group,
Yes. Yes.
He's got to talk. This is they're cautious, they're quality focused, they're detail focused. These groups send you detail. Let me answer. They keep just to get along. And finally, we have stable, supportive, emotionally intelligent, and it's the right, hard, hard, hard. If you don't hard, that's your whole life, you'll be told that the bucket you're in is the wrong bucket. You'll be told you need to be more this or more that.
Yes,
You'll be told you're not enough this and you're not enough that.
that's true.
And you'll think in your head, oh no, if I was in this room, I'd be more successful.
Yeah,
If I was in that room, I'd be more successful.
that's true.
There's an amazing conversation that happened between Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs. Steve Wozniak, the tech brain behind Apple, went up to Steve Jobs and he said, "What do you even do?" Can you imagine saying that to Steve Jobs? Steve Wozniak looked at Steve Jobs into the eyes and said, "What do you even do?" He said, "You're not a coder, you're not an engineer, you're not a tech guy. What do you do?" Steve Jobs said, "Musicians play their instruments. I play the orchestra."
Uh-huh.
Okay, you go after that, and then talk.